Good afternoon, guys. I'm doing something a bit different today. I know normally I do a time lapse, but I'm going to do a full start up to shutdown flight on the PMDG Boeing 737-800 freighter. It's only a short hop, so I wanted to do it this way instead of a time lapse, and you guys can use it as a tutorial to follow along or whatever you'd like to do. So let's get started. We're currently here at Edinburgh, being loaded, or about to be loaded. We're just doing a short hop down to East Midlands Airport. Yeah, and I just want to run things through with you, and hopefully you guys will find it helpful. Okay, so let's get started. So we're already here, we're connected with ground power. We've done all the secure cabin bit, or most of the secure cabin bit, so making sure the landing gear's down, speed brakes down, flaps are up, battery on and covered, etc. So let's get to it. So let's get up here. So we're already connected to ground power. So you start off with your battery on, all your hydraulic pumps are off, make sure all your fuel pumps are off, interior lights is required, cabin utility power and in-flight entertainment passenger seat power both on, don't really need them today. It's on a freighter. So our ground power is connected and on. Our AC selector is set to ground power. Emergency lights are on and covered, or armed and covered, should I say. Seat belts, again, don't need them. It's a freight flight. Set your external lights to your wheel well, your wing, and your logo lights are on. Cockpit lights, you test all that. It's a long old process, I'm not going to do all of them. I'll show you what I mean. So you've got your test lights there. You've got your APU and your engine fire test. There's another one on that side, I believe, or something. I can't remember. But yeah, we're not going to do all of them. We've not got any failure set up. Again, if you want to play realistically, check your oxygen mask. You come down here and you just press where it says press to test and reset. So your FMC, a little bit different on the Boeing. I don't use PMDG's ground services. I use GSX. So I've got all of that turned off. So we're going to start in here. We're going to go FMC, position in it, reference airport. We are at Edinburgh, EGPH, and we are at gate 211. That will come up. That's fine. So really, you meant to set your fuel and payload. I do it this way because you can set it when you upload your flight plan from SimBrief onto your FMC. So what we're gonna do is normally you do all that first, your fuel and that, and then you'd come up here and you'd align your IRS. But I'm gonna do that first because it stops you doing stuff if they're not aligned. So I just go straight to nav, set the IRS display to HDGSTS. These will go to align. And then in a minute, this window up on the right, there you go, it's where the 8's are popped up. That is the amount of minutes left till the IRS is aligned. So for a minute, we're going to come back down here. Back to the FMC. So your IRS position, you want to set it as your gate. So in the PMDG, just click this one. You'll come up down there, pop it in there. Easy, right? Perfect. Route. Request flight plan. Oh, that's because I've got EGPH in the scratch pad. Request flight plan. You need to go over here to your electronic flight pad, request data from SimBrief. Boom. It will show in your FMC. Edinburgh, East Midlands Airport. Perfect. Select that. Set your payload. Set your fuel. Clear both of them. Select route. Give it a minute to load, and you'll be able to load it and execute it. Takes a minute or two. In the meantime, you can see here we are loading our aircraft. So we've got all our small little parcels, your DHL, your UPS packages, your eBay, Amazon Prime, all going underneath the aircraft here. And your main, I think they're called IEDs or something, I can't remember what they're called. are going in here. If anyone knows if there's a way to remove the ones that are in the aircraft by default, please let me know. That'd be great. So this is back, ready to upload. You just click load. Uplink loading. Takes a minute. Activate. Execute. Now I leave the company route empty. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't make a difference. What is important, you need to put your runway heading that you're taking off from. So today is going to be 24. Execute. Next step, perf init. Again, perf init request. So some of this you will need to listen to your ATIS. We'll do that in a minute. We'll wait for this to load and I'll show you. So it takes a minute, just like the flight plan. It's got to read the data. It comes up, perf init uplink, load, execute. Transition altitude 6,000, etc. When you go to the next page, etc. What we'll do is now we'll listen to our ATIS on our ATC. I'm using Beyond ATC. Really recommend it. It's great, and we shall get a bit of information from them.
Ceiling 3,600 broken. Temperature 16. Dew point 10. QNH 1008. Landing and departing runway 24. Transition level 070. Advise on initial contact. You have information November. Edinburgh Airport information November. 1545 Zulu. Wind 250 at 15. Few clouds at 2,700.
Okay, so we've got our wind 241 at 30. I think that was wrong actually. Let's just jump back onto that and listen again. Wind. Oh, it's your cruise wind. No, ignore me. That's your cruise wind. Okay, so we've done that. We can go up to fuel pump forward 1. APU start. And then you've got to wait for this one below the excuse me, the bus trans to light up, and then you can turn your ground power off. While you're waiting, set your AC selector to APU Gen. APU Gen, right? Leave this one on your battery, not a problem. It takes a minute or two for this to come up. You've got to make sure your bleeds are on. Turn the engine bleed off. And make sure, oh no, sorry. Make sure your APU and your engine bleeds are on the right hand side here. So that'll light up. When it lights up, you just click APU Gen 1 and 2 off. On, sorry. As I say, it takes a minute or two. There we go. Put that one on, put that one on. I don't know if you need to click both. Someone will be able to tell me, I'm sure. And then you come down here and you turn off your master caution. So now you can request your flight clearance with ATC. So let's do that in a minute. Good afternoon, Edinburgh ground, Neptune 45 Delta at stand 211, requesting IFR clearance to East Midlands Airport with information November. I think it was November.
Neptune 45 Delta, Edinburgh ground. Thanks for November. Expect runway 24. Go to 1, Charlie departure. Squawk 2510.
Expect runway 24, go to 1 Charlie departure, squawk 2510, Neptune 45 Delta.
Neptune 45 Delta, read back, correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Call you back when ready for pushback or engine start, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you.
My pleasure, enjoy your flight.
So as you can see guys, he gave us our departure and our squawk. So I've set our squawk down here. That needs to go to, oh, wrong way, wrong way. That is to go to alt off for a minute. So we've done that. We've set our altimeter already, 1008. So now we can go to our FMC and do our departure, which goes to 1 Charlie, runway 24, execute. Check your route. There's all your waypoints, legs. We won't have our arrival legs technically in the eyes of, if it was realistic, we don't know what runway we'd be landing on yet, and it's still time for it to change even now. So next off, you go to your init ref, route, takeoff, set your flaps to 15, set your QRH, don't have to do it this way, I like to, just makes life a bit easier, 128, 129, 140. Set your trim level, 24.6, so that's 339, set your trim, so 1, 2, 3, about there. I'm not very good at that, I must admit. So hit your initial altitude, which is your transition level, so that's 7,000. Your head and your takeoff runway, so you set your head into your runway takeoff, your takeoff runway, so ours is 240. 240. And your initial speed you set to your V2 reference, so ours is 140. Easy as that. So once everything is aligned, which it has, or it should be done any second now, he says. Oh, also up here, guys, you've got your stall warning test and your airspeed warning test. So that's set. That's fine. We can leave that like that. We can now turn on our yaw damper. Lovely. Our fuel pumps can all be turned on now. If you've got fuel in the centre, you turn them on as well. I'm not going to. I don't have fuel in the centre. I don't have a lot of fuel. We're only doing a short hop down to East Midlands. Check your cross feed. So that valve open light needs to go dim like that. Close it again. Turn your window heat on. Your engine and wing anti-ice, don't really need it for a minute. It's not cold, it says toasty, what was it, 20 degrees. Turn all your hydraulic pumps on, otherwise nothing will work. Your flight altitude, I know mine is 25,000 foot today for the duration of this flight, and our landing altitude, it goes up in 50s, I know ours is like 295, so I'm going to set it to 300. It only goes up in multiples of 50. So back down to your autopilot, make sure your flight directors are on, LNAV and VNAV is on, auto brakes set to RTO, which stands for rejected takeoff. We can now set all our ground connections to off and take our fuel chocks off and put our parking brake on, so ground power off. A little bit of a cheat way of doing this, go to FS Actions, Ground Services, just set your wheel chocks. So before you do that, push your rudder pedals in if you don't know if this is realistic. If you've got it on realistic, pull your parking brake. Now you can remove your chocks, it'll automatically remove your ground power. Make sure they finish loading, which they have. So we can close our doors and ask GSX to remove the stairs. Yeah, it's closing. So the stairs will, the ghost will move them away, as I call it. Why aren't the stairs going away? What was I wrong? What's going on? Okay, that might be why it might have got confused actually. Waiting for action, closed door. Okay, closed door. I thought I'd already closed that. There we go, so now the stairs are leaving. Parking brake is set, your chocks are removed. takeoff briefing is reviewed pretty much. We know what we're doing. So packs left and right, on and off. I've got them off anyway. We're not. It's not a passenger aircraft, but we still need to keep the pressurization. So we'll turn them on, and well, we'll turn them on now. Look. Check that duct pressure goes up, because you've got to get duct pressure up before you start. I should have done that, I forgot that, I missed that on my checklist. I am reading off a checklist here. I do every time, I just like to be realistic. The checklist is on flightsim.to, I believe it's still there. It's by Electro X Soldier. I will post a description of it, post a link of it in the description below for you to download and read at your own discretion when you're ready. So what I do is now, guys, you're meant to leave this turned off. I forget to turn it on if I do, so I'm going to turn it on now, which is fine. You know, doesn't make a difference. We will contact Edinburgh ground again and ask for a pushback and a startup. Edinburgh ground, Neptune 45 Delta, request pushback and startup.
Neptune 45 Delta, Edinburgh ground, pushback approved, face northwest.
Pushback approved, face northwest, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you.
Negative, face northwest.
I said face northwest. Face northwest, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you. There we go. So now we just go up to the GSX menu, prepare for pushback and departure. You'll see your little man over here with your steering pin. He'll come over, start chatting to you, prepare everything for departure. In the meantime, we can get our anti-collision light on. Turn your wheel well light off. Turn your wing light off, you don't really need it. Thank you. That's all ready to go. So now we wait for them to connect the pushback tug before we start the engines. I'll leave it there for you guys to watch. Oh, so we want to set our face northwest. It is what it is. Sometimes the GSX profiles don't change them. So we're going to go nose left, tail right. Okay, so we're going to do that. Release your parking brakes. Just don't even have to touch the switch. Just tap your rudder pedals. So, engine start. You do the opposite engine ignition to start the engine. So we're going to start the left engine. So we go ignition. No, sorry, we're going to start the right engine. We're going to go ignition left. Switch that to ground. Wait until N2 hits 25%. What's going on? What's going on? We've not done something right here. Sorry, I didn't. What's going on here? Fuel pumps are on. Batteries on. What is going on here? Oh, we've got our packs on. Whoopsie. Make sure your packs are turned off. So wait for that to get to 25%. How much you move that? It's because I was eating a sausage roll. We're coming up to 25% now. Flick your fuel cut off on. And you'll see. Oh god, I don't like how close he is. He might get sucked in. You see the left engine, or your right engine, depending which way you look at it, is starting up. When that flicks back to off, you want to set it to continuous. Set your parking brakes when you're asked to. So that's flicked back to off, set it to continuous, and you do the same, apart from this time you set ignition right, left engine ground. Wait for N2 to hit 25%. Fuel on. Wait for it to flick back. Yeah, I know GSX. Set it to continuous. Set your gen engine switches on. APU automatically goes off. Turn your APU off. Set your AC selector to Gen 1. And for a little bit of added realism, hit the ground call button. Confirm good engine start. So while they're doing this, we set our flaps. Or turn our probe heat on, which I've already done. Turn your packs back on. Turn your APU bleed off. Packs to auto. Set your flaps to whatever you've got them set for takeoff. Mine's 15, so we go 1, 2, 5, 10, 15. Make sure your trim is set as it should be. I think that's about right. I'm not very good at it. My bad. Now, normally you turn your TCAS on. I've already done it, so I'm going to click test. That's going to tell me whether it's passed or failed, whether I've done something wrong. Turn our taxi lights on. Anti-collision. Oh no, anti-collision lights on. Position, strobe, and steady. Wait for our man to move out of the way and give us a little wave. Might not be able to see him. There he is. Give him the thumbs up. Let him know that we know he's got the steering pin. And now we can request taxi. Edinburgh ground, Neptune 45 Delta, request taxi to runway 24.
Neptune 45 Delta, runway 24 taxi via Sierra, Mike Alpha Delta.
Runway 24, taxi via Sierra, Mike Alpha Delta, Neptune 45 Delta. Okay, that's a problem I'm going to explain now. So, I use FSLTL for traffic. It doesn't talk to Beyond ATC yet. Beyond ATC are working on their own traffic injection. I'm fairly certain it's in testing now, where you'll be told to wait for aircraft behind you, in front of you, take off, landing, etc. So unfortunately, you just have to ignore that for a minute. Beyond ATC, really good product. They're constantly upgrading it. They're working really hard on it. They're not paying me to say this. I genuinely think it's a brilliant product, and I would recommend anyone who's not flying VATSIM 24/7 to download it. Right, let's make our way down to the runway. Let's give it a little bit of power to get it moving here. Let's just reset that a minute. So we're going Sierra Mike Alpha Delta. So what you're doing while you're taxiing, you meant to do it before takeoff, I'd do it to kill a bit of time. Put your auto throttle on. Center fuel pumps if you need them, make sure they're on. Check all your temperatures, etc, etc. What's armed? Why is that armed? It's not, never mind. Never mind, ignore me. Check your VR speeds are all correct. I'm sure it tells you if they're not. Let's have a look. Take off. Yeah, they're all fine. Perfect. Turn your landing lights on when you're a bit nearer to the runway. It's up to you when you do it, really. So it's going to take a gentle taxi down to runway 24. Your auto throttle is armed, that's fine. Make sure both your flight directors are on. I like to just check a few things. All your fuel pumps on. We don't need our centre fuel pumps, we don't have a lot of fuel. So we're currently taxiing on Mike. And then Alpha down to Delta. A little bit off centre here. Let's move over a bit. So going back to GSX, with GSX and PMDG, for some reason I can't get GSX fuel to work with PMDG aircraft. I don't know why. I can get it to work with FlyByWire, Phoenix, etc, etc. It just does not want to work with PMDG. That's why I set the fuel and the payload the way I did. The FlyByWire A320 definitely is linked. It does it all for you. It marries up. You don't have to worry about it. Do everything through GSX. Unfortunately, if anyone, I don't know why, but if anyone has a fix, please let me know, that'd be great. Just about to turn on to Alpha here.
All aircraft be advised, information Oscar now current, QNH 1008.
There goes the EasyJet flight that just crashed into me. So yeah, about now, I tend to do my landing lights and stuff. You can do it how you want to do it. I'm going to do that. Turn the taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on. I also turn the traffic on now. So you see there, it will tell us.
Neptune 45 Delta, contact Edinburgh Tower 118.705.
118.705, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you.
Negative. Tower on
That's what I said.
118.705.
118.705, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you. Edinburgh Tower, Neptune 45 Delta at runway 24, requesting departure.
Neptune 45 Delta, Edinburgh Tower, wind 240 at 12, runway 24, cleared for takeoff.
Wind 240 at 12, runway 24, cleared for takeoff, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you. Here we go. So we will turn the clock on, get that running. Stabilise the engines to 40%. And Toga. Rotate. Gear up. Turn the autopilot on. Retract flaps by 1.
Neptune 45 Delta. Contact Edinburgh departure 128.908.
Retract flaps again. Finally back to... Oh, I've done that a bit early actually. 128.908. Neptune 45 Delta, thank you.
Neptune 45 Delta, you're welcome.
I've got it set to auto tune on Beyond ATC just to... So I don't have to do too many things at once. Oh. Oh dear. Speed up. Why is the VNav gone off? VNav. My bad. Edinburgh radar, Neptune 45 Delta with you at flight level 2,700, climbing flight level 7,000.
Neptune 45 Delta. Edinburgh departure. Identified. Climb to flight level 100.
Climbing to flight level 100, Neptune 45 Delta. So yeah, there we go. We are up in the air. So now we can set our engine switches to off. Don't ask me why, that's just a Boeing thing clearly. We can turn off our auto brakes. Our flaps are raised, autopilot is on, LNAV and VNAV. Don't know why I keep go to VNAV. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. VNAV. Runway turn off lights, they can go off immediately. Landing lights do not come off until 10,000 feet has been reached. Once we get to 7,000 feet, we change our altimeter to standard. What is it doing? Oh, I see, it's following the FMC and that. Is it? Level change. Not sure why it's done that. But yeah, 250, speed 250 knots below 10,000 feet. There she goes, climbing now. Take a quick screenshot, I think.
Neptune 45 Delta. Contact Scottish Control 119.875.
119.875, Neptune 45 Delta, thank you.
Negative Scottish Control.
It doesn't like my 9s, the way I say 9. Scottish Control on 119.875, Neptune 45 Delta.
Negative Scottish
It doesn't like the way I say it. I don't know why, it's only 9s. Yeah, let's just do auto handoff. There we go.
Contact Scottish Control 119.875, Neptune 45 Delta.
So I'll show you now, you can also set it to auto respond as if the first officer's speaking, so we'll do that for a little bit. Scottish Scottish Control, Neptune 45 Delta with you at flight level 100. So now the
Neptune 45 Delta, Scottish Control, radar contact, climb to flight level 200.
you listen now, it'll automatically respond.
Climb to flight level 200, Neptune 45 Delta.
So now we can turn on VNav, he says. Turn off our landing lights. Ooh, I sneezed, sorry. Don't need any anti-ice. Check target altitude. It's fine. We're just not quite ready. Go on then. So yeah, speed is set via the FMC, as you can see. So now we don't really have to do anything until 40 miles before the top of descent when we listen to the ATIS for our arrival airport, which is going to be East Midlands Airport. Little trick, you can go to, is it cruise? No. Descent, there you go, descent. And it will tell you how far away you are from the top of descent. So once you're 40 miles away, you listen to your ATIS, you do your arrival, etc, etc, all the wind forecast and that, your weather, your altimeter, etc. And yeah, it will tell you, and then you can tell the ATC that you're ready for the top of descent. So I know this is a bit different to what I've usually upload. I usually upload time lapses. But yeah, I thought I'd try something a bit different, see how well it does. If you enjoy the video, please take a moment to like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I really, really love doing this. And I really want to make a career out of it. I'm currently a long distance truck driver. I love the job. The rules and regulations keep changing. And I'd love to do something like this full time. So yeah, help a brother out.
Neptune 45 Delta. Request altitude change.
Neptune 45 Delta, roger. Say new altitude.
Request flight level 250, Neptune 45 Delta.
Neptune 45 Delta, confirm new altitude flight level 250.
Affirmative, Neptune 45 Delta.
Neptune 45 Delta, roger. Climb to flight level 250.
Climb to flight level 250, Neptune 45 Delta.
45 Delta, contact London Control 118.775.
Contact London Control 118.775, Neptune 45 Delta, bye-bye. London Control, Neptune 45 Delta, flight level 250.
Neptune 45 Delta, London Control, identified.
Okay guys, so we're 46 miles from our top of descent, so in 6 miles we will listen to the ATIS for East Midlands, and I will show you how to fill out your descent for do your forecast descent. Do that now. Descent wind request. Maybe that doesn't work. Oh, so it does. Load. Execute. So yeah, flight level. You see your flight level, what your wind speeds are, what direction. That's fine. There you go, 40 nautical miles. So let's tune into East Midlands ATIS, which is 122680. 122680. I should have had this pre-organised already. I went to the toilet. My bad.
13. Landing and departing, runway 27, transition level 060. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Advise on initial contact you have information, Quebec. East Midlands Airport information, Quebec, 1615 Zulu. Wind 250 at 11, temperature 18, dew point 10, QNH 101 Landing and departing, runway 27, transition level 060. Bird activity in vicinity.
Okay, so we've got all what we need. So what I'll do is now is I'll call ATC, tell them we're not quite ready for descent yet. I will show you what we've got to do to set up the ILS. So to start with, ILS there, your DAH 482. This goes up here where it says Barrow. You scroll this wheel, and it tells you here what what you're on. So we're gonna set that to 482. So we're gonna go. Oh, I'm done the wrong dial now. Ha ha ha. We're gonna set that to 482. that is also, I've got it in the option so they marry up together. We're going to set the ILS frequency to this here, ILS-DME. So the 268, you'll want to set that on your course here.
Neptune 45 Delta, London Control, expect Croft 1 Echo, runway 27.
Expect Croft 1 Echo, runway 27. Neptune
But you
45 Delta.
also want to set it here. So you'll see here, look, it's coming on 11050. That's not what we want. So 109.35 is what we want. So we go down here, we go 10935. It'll come up in the standby. Flick that to actual, and then you want to do the same here, okay? So both sides have to marry up. So 10935 active. If everything's correct, this here, where it's saying 10935 over 268, that is what you want. You need it to be in white. If you don't set them up properly, or they don't marry up, it will be yellow with a line through it, and that will not work, so keep that in mind. So I'll descend to it. I don't know, let's just request descent now.
Neptune 45 Delta, ready for descent.
Neptune 45 Delta, Croft 1 Echo, runway 27, descend to flight level 200.
Croft 1 Echo, runway 27, descend to flight level 200, Neptune 45 Delta.
Right, descend now, execute. Because that should be way closer than that. I'm not sure if we've overshot it or not, because I was too busy sorting everything out. So we're going down to flight level 200. We're starting our descent. Let's look at some charts. So we have got the Croft 1 Echo arrival. So Croft 1 Echo. So we will be coming in from Croft, I believe. So we will, no, we'll be coming in from Rokup. Where's Rokup? Yeah, okay, so we'll be coming in from Croft, we'll be coming down here to Dipso, to Rokup, and then on the approach from Rokup, we will go around. So basically we're doing a triple loop sort of thing, so we'll come around and come straight in landing, right? I'll show you what I mean on the FMC in a minute. So if we go to plan, and we zoom right out, go to legs, next page, and zoom in. So this is our arrival. So we'll go Vega, or Rokup should be a bit further back, I think. Where's Rokup? Look, I can just see Rokup, yeah. So we'll come in here, we go around here, around here, around here, down into Rokup, and then we pick up the ILS. Now I've done this flight before. The first time I've done it, I messed up. I set the localizer, or hit the localizer button when I was on the first loop. It completely messed up my flight. The plane decided to go meow and fly right over the top. And it took me ages to get back on with it. So I'm not going to hit the VOR button until I'm heading towards D114 X-ray here. So set that back to map, set that back to 20. So we can set our auto brake. So if you want to find out on the PMDG, you can go here and go performance tool, landing en route, import everything from your flight plan, import your weather, and adjust it as you want. So we're going runway 27, our elevation is 295, we've got that set up. Our runway slope is 0.0, we have a runway length of nearly 9,500 feet, and our runway heading is 268. So another way, look, 268, 268 on the course, 268. Landing flaps, we're going to go to 40. Anti-ice is off, reverser configs, all operative. Auto brakes, max. Everything else, fine. So if you click calculate, it will tell you roughly where you're going to come to a dead stop. Right? That is my understanding of it. So we're going to be landing at 140 flaps 40. So if we go to our descent page and go to RTA, no, not RTA, I can't remember, route legs, menu, maybe, descent, oh, I can't remember how you do it now, climb, route, init ref, sorry, there we go. So we're going to be going init ref, we're going to be landing at flaps, so these are what you need, so flaps 15, 149 knots, flaps 30, 142, flaps 40, 135. So we're going to go, do we actually? I might go flaps 30 and chuck that in there. So there you go, that's your V reference. That will now come up in the bottom left of your screen here. So that's all fine. We are now currently at 20,000 feet. We're going to stay here for a minute. If you use Navigraph, you can also obviously, as I'm sure you know, you can track your progress. So I'm going to just have a quick look. So Croft, so we need to do a maximum of 250 knots. I need to be at 8,000 feet by row up. So MCT, we need to cross MCT at flight level 200 or above. Right, that's fine. We've got all that kind of the same. We've got to set the 1013 as the ATIS instructed us. We'll see. So, not that you can see it with the cloud, we are about to fly over Manchester. I did do this video yesterday and then realised throughout the entire video my microphone was turned off. So I didn't I didn't have any sorry, I'm just replying to a message. Sorry guys, what was I saying? Yeah, I did this video yesterday and realised afterwards I had no audio recording at all, no microphone recording, nothing. So I thought I would do it again. Because I thought it a good idea, these short haul flights, I enjoy them. My last video was a short haul flight from Heathrow up to Edinburgh. I also didn't do that one as a time lapse. I'm yet to upload it because these videos were pre-recorded by about a week. But yeah, I might time lapse it. I might time lapse this one. We'll see. I'll see how well the first video does, I suppose, first. So we can set our auto brakes now if you want. I'm going to set mine to maximum. I should go all the base 3. It'll be fine. So I always find new features in the PMDG aircraft every time I use it. I get a little carried away playing with them.
45 Delta, descend to flight level 080.
Descend to flight level 080, Neptune 45 Delta.
There we go. So we are now starting our descent fully. So let me just get some charts up here again. Oh. Oh, what happened there? Okay, so we're coming in from here. This doesn't matter, we've already crossed over MCT. So I don't know what's happened. So we need to be at flight level 200. We need to be at maximum 250 knots by VGAR. Obviously at 10,000 feet you do everything again. You put your landing lights on, seat belts if you're on a passenger plane, landing lights, your speed needs to be 250 knots or below. As you see, we're all on course. Everything here is as it should be. Just double check it if you're not sure. Approach. When we're a bit closer, I will set my go around altitude, which is 3,000. As you can see if you read the charts here. So that's 482.
Neptune 45 Delta, contact East Midlands, approach 134.18.
10935. 10935.
Contact East Midlands, approach 134.18.
268.
Neptune
268.
45 Delta. East Midlands, Neptune 45 Delta. Flight level 153 with information Quebec.
Neptune 45 Delta East Midlands approach, QNH 1013, expect the ILS runway 27 with the rope-up transition.
QNH 1013. Expect the ILS runway 27 with the rope-up transition. Neptune 45 Delta.
So as you can see, what I've done there is I've put some drag. We need to now be at 250 knots. The aircraft has pitched up a little bit, now it's pitching back down until it reaches the correct speed. So as you've seen at Vega, maximum of 250 knots. Dipso maximum of 220. Should be right. Probably even point it down a little bit more, so I'm just going to manually set the vertical speed at 850 feet per minute. We'll see how we get on with that. If it holds, brilliant. We got our speed brake out to create a bit more drag. Maybe even set it to 1,000 feet per minute, just see what happens. Probably get a way of putting that back in, to be fair. We'll just see what happens. If we need to pull it back out, we can. Our transition is roke up, so this is what I mean. See, so we're going to fly over here, we're going to loop around, loop back around, and then back onto the final approach course. To be fair, it's holding pretty well. Let's go 1200? Or is that going to start creeping the speed up? That's right, give it a bit of drag, should be right. As long as we're at 8,000 feet by road carpet, it's fine. From road up 8,000 feet. Final approach course, that's fine, that's fine. It'll be at 2,000 feet at 8.2. There, she's holding quite nicely actually, isn't she? 251. Approaching 10,000 feet. Need to set that now to 220 on the approach at Dipso, so we'll get that down. Bit more drag. As we hit 10,000 feet, we'll turn our landing lights on. Oh, wrong one. You'll probably put the map into like 5, and let's go 10. Approaching 10,000 feet. landing lights on. Oh, landing lights on. We're at 220. What is our flaps? 220. So we could probably go to flaps 5 now. 1, 2, 5. That'll create a bit more drag. I mean, that's saying up, but it's creating a bit more drag for us, so keep our speed down nicely at 220. D148K, we need to be at 5,000. Once we're at 8,000 feet, we will select VNav again. It should automatically do everything for us.
Neptune 45 Delta, cleared direct row cup, cross row cup at or above flight level 080, cleared ILS runway 27.
Cleared direct row cup, cross row cup at or above flight level 080. Cleared ILS runway 27, Neptune 45 Delta.
I didn't see what the transition level is, so I expect 6,000. Am I being blind? Is it on the star? I don't know. Says 6. EGPH on a star. I don't know. I think that's because I got the flaps down, so it's automatically setting that. What we'll do is now quickly go on GSX. East Midlands, I believe it is the we want one. No, so it's the western ramp we need. Western apron. Or did I just do that one? No, okay, it's the eastern apron, my bad. Bro! Okay, western. Am I tripping out here? Western apron. Ah, there we go, my bad. Alright, so we'll go stand. Let's go 110. DHL. So I believe after row cup we can probably set the VOR. We are going a bit slow, I think, but we should be still within 220 here. Wow, we'll just enjoy it. We're not in any great rush. It's because we're on flaps 5, I think. I might have done the flaps a little bit early. That's my bad. So if we went to flaps up, would it pick up back to 180, you reckon? Yeah. Do flaps 5 at D114X. Oh shush.
Neptune 45
Oh.
Delta established.
No, we're
on
not.
final approach.
No, we're not.
Neptune 45 Delta, roger.
Never mind. I don't know why I've done that. We're going to go down to 5,000 feet now. Level change. So let's have that armed, ready for landing. Hopefully it won't do what it did last time. Last time it just completely had a mind of its own.
All aircraft be advised, information Romeo now current, QNH 1012.
Once we get to 6,000 feet, we'll go back to that's our transition altitude. There we go. I'm actually going to turn that off for a minute. I'm going to do it when we're like here. Because we're still, well, we're alright. That's what I mean, beyond ATC still has a few, it's still ironing out a few issues. So, why is it climbing? Sometimes it sorts itself out beyond AT, so. Now we gotta sort itself out now. In a minute, we'll descend to 3,000 feet. And 2,000 when we're on short final. So if I do the VOR now. Oh no, seems to have a mind of its own. We could go, can we go flaps 5 now then? Let's just go flaps 2. We're in flaps 1. So that's where it's feeding. So we'll drop to 3,000 feet. Kind of worried it hasn't picked up the localizer yet. I don't know if I've done something wrong or if, because last time it picked up straight away. I'm sure someone could explain to me. You gonna pick up a localizer? I feel like it should have by now. Turn it off and back on again. There she goes. Why isn't Beyond ATC speaking to me now? Put on approach mode. Already on the glide scope, perfect. ATC's having a bit of a meltdown and don't want to talk to me anymore. But we are at flaps 25, we want to go to flaps 30, might be a bit early yet, but I don't know actually, we're on final approach. But it don't want to speak to me, so we'll just ignore that for a minute unless it suddenly changes its mind. We're on the glide scope, auto land is on, landing gear is down, landing flaps are set, we need to set our engine starts to continuous. We are good to go. Well, kind of. Don't know why Beyond ATC is just not talking to me anymore, but never mind. I believe there's an aircraft in front of us looking at the TCAS, but I can't see it unless it's already on the ground. So during land we want to set that to 3000 in case we have to go around. Autopilot is on, landing gear is down, auto throttle is on, the auto thrust. Puppy lights are good. That guy has just completely crashed into the airport, but we're going to ignore him. Bit of a crosswind here. Nothing too major. No, he's going around.
East Midlands Tower, Neptune 45.
Didn't tell us to change for some reason.
Runway 27.
Neptune 45 Delta.
Okay.
East Midlands Tower, wind 230 at 8. Runway 27 cleared to land.
Runway 27 cleared to land, Neptune 45 Delta.
Whoa! Yeah, that wasn't the best landing, I can't lie. What we're going to do is just quickly do this and go free this parking from AI. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened here, it's just randomly stopped talking to me.
Neptune 45 Delta. Request taxi to the cargo ramp.
Neptune 45 Delta, welcome to East Midlands Airport. No suitable gates for your aircraft exist at this airport.
Yes, they do.
At pilot's discretion.
Roger, taxi at my discretion, Neptune 45 Delta.
Okay, that's weird because it worked yesterday. So. Oh, I can't remember what gate we're going to now. 110. Oh well. I'm not sure why, but it didn't work. the other ATC bit worked yesterday. So I can't really explain much on that one, I'm afraid. But we know where we're going. We're going to gate 110. Just taxi at your own discretion. He was at our gate. We want 110. Don't know, it's a little bit too far. There we go. We have made it. Let's get GSX to start unloading us. Chocks are set. Request our GPU. Anti-collision lights off. Oh, wing and wheel well, that's fine. Ground power on. Set that to ground power. APU off. Fuel pumps off. Engine start switches are off. Hydraulics off. Bleeds off. Reset that. I think that sets 10,000 by default. That's 0. APU bleed off. Master warning off. Our IRS selectors go off. As does that. Your damper goes off. All the bleeds are off. Packs off. 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 I think that's it, isn't it? Cockpit lights off. Standby power off. Trim air off. Window heat off. Emergency lights are off. there we go. So guys, here we are at East Midlands. Bit of an eventful flight, as it were. Well, not eventful, but, you know, a few things that ATC wanted to randomly stop talking to us for 0 reasons. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I found it helpful in some way.